100 people dead. With memories of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis still fresh, the authorities in North Kivu have confirmed that more than 1,000 people have been wounded and 500,000 displaced. The toll is the result of clashes between the M23 rebels backed by 4,000 Rwandan soldiers and the Congolese army. Doctors from the International Committee of the Red Cross have reported grueling days treating serious injuries and seeing many bodies on the streets of Goma, the capital of North Kivu. The Israeli genocidal forces continue their siege of the West Bank, where they killed a young man in the town of Jenin on Wednesday. In Gaza, the killing continues with different methods. The Zionists did not respect the ceasefire in Gaza for a single day. On Wednesday morning, their boats wounded several fishermen in Han Yunis, south of the Strip, where they also arrested 2 of them. The mayor of Deir Stia, northwest of Salfit, Abdul Rashim Sidan, confirmed that the genocidal troops fired toxic gases at several houses in the area, killing a whole family, including a baby. All of them died of suffocation. On the other hand, the Red Crescent has confirmed the killing of 25-year-old Omar Al-Haya. The young man was attacked by a drone in the city of Jenin. And the United Nations Agency for Palestine Refugees accused Israel of trying to sabotage the recovery and political transition of Gaza. UNRWA chief Philip Lazzarini made the accusation after the Zionist regime ordered to forcibly close the agency. Experts say that the government of Benjamin Netanyahu wants to strip the Palestinians of their refugee status and deny them their right to self-determination in addition to erasing their history and identity. Lazzarini argues that curtailing its operations, in addition to undermining the ceasefire and compromising the international humanitarian response, will sabotage the recovery and political transition of Gaza. And according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, over 5,000 migrants have been arrested. The agency updated that 969 arrests were added to the 4,981 detentions reported at midday on Tuesday. In this way, the control operations ordered by President Donald Trump amounted to 5,950 arrests who have allegedly committed serious crimes. The federal government has a wide range to define crimes and offenses. In less than 48 hours, they have gone from murderers and thieves to people who are criminals just for entering the country illegally, as the White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt ensured. And in the United States, a federal judge holds the president's decision to suspend public aid and essential assistance programs. Another executive order by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has been halted by the courts. In this case, the White House will not be able to freeze federal aid as ordered by the President. The order, which had unleashed a political storm by posing a risk to the health of millions of citizens, as well as affecting the energy transition and international aid, was blocked by a federal judge in Washington. The decision runs until February 3rd and has received strong support from the attorneys generals of 23 states, who announced they will challenge the president's action. The first nationals deported under the Donald Trump administration arrived in Colombia on 2 flights of the Colombian Airspace Force. Upon their arrival in the country, they reported the mistreatment they were subjected to by the United States immigration authorities. Hernan Tobar with the details.
Luis and his family are part of the 201 Colombians deported by the United States government who arrived in the country from El Paso, Texas, and San Diego, California, in the United States. He tells how after his detention, he was mistreated by the authorities of that country in his deportation process.
When
I arrived in San Diego, they handcuffed my hands and feet. Even the women who were alone, they handcuffed their hands and feet. The only ones they didn't handcuff were the ones with their children. In front of our children, they handcuffed us, and the children were obviously watching. My daughter asked me, "Daddy, why are they handcuffing you? Are you going to jail?" Obviously confused. What was I supposed to tell her? So she was slowly understanding the process, but she couldn't say anything. In San Diego, they mistreated us a lot. They treated us practically like animals. They threw food at us, and we had no access to anything. They separated us. They separated my wife and my daughter, and I lasted 2 days without hearing from them. Until today, when we had the meeting to leave here in the early morning.
Colombian immigration authorities reviewed the disciplinary records of each of the deportees, and it was found that none of them is associated with, or has any pending judicial investigation in Colombia or the United States, as stated by U.S. President Donald Trump, who claimed that criminals were being deported.
Ninguno tiene antecedentes pendientes.
None of them has a pending record with the justice system. None of them arrived handcuffed, which is important to point out to the country.
Ninguno llegó esposado. Eso es importante señalarlo al país. Muy contentos de llegar a nuestro país y obviamente.
We are very happy that they have arrived in our country and, obviously, the President is giving instructions for the comprehensive care of deportees from all countries.
Integral a los deportados de todos los países.
El gobierno colombiano ratificó que los
The
deportados
Colombian government ratified that deportees must be treated with dignity and that they are not criminals. The Minister of Foreign Affairs made an assessment of the deported persons and assured that the protocols for deportation flights will continue to be enforced, guaranteeing their rights and respect for their dignity.
El primer vuelo procedente de San Diego, en California.
The first flight from San Diego, California, brought 62 men, 32 women, and 16 children. In this group were 2 pregnant women who, according to medical reports, are in good health. The second flight from El Paso, Texas, brought 46 men, 45 women, and 5 minors. Consulate officials were attentive to ensure that the situation of our nationals on both flights was satisfactory, providing them with technical, medical, and food assistance.
Asistencia técnica, asistencia médica y alimentaria.
para estos migrantes colombianos deportados.
For these Colombian migrants deported from the U.S., the American dream has come to an end, and they maintain that nothing in life justifies the treatment they were subjected to.
Hernán Darío Tobar Gaitán, teleSUR, Bogotá, Colombia.
Situation